It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Well, hello. It's Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor. I don't know. I'm just so excited when you and I have the chance to get back together. Thank you for subscribing to this podcast. Thank you for downloading it. You listen at the gym. A lot of you listen in your car. You like the motivational aspect. It's not just about making money. Whatever reason you have fallen in love with the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast, not only do I thank you, I treasure our time together. Now, today's going to be kind of like a fun show. If you remember, I interviewed Janelle Cox not too long ago. We talked about the psychodynamics of trading, and we shared not only our views on psychology, but also on spirituality. Well, today, guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about couples and money. Why? Well, psychologists tell us there are two major reasons that couples actually get divorced. And the first is sex, and the second is money. Now, what I find really interesting is sometimes they're both related, right? So if you're stressed, you may not want to do the get down with your partner because you're too bogged down by money issues. And sometimes those two issues correlate. Today, we're not going to focus on the sex part. Sorry to disappoint those of you who thought we were going there, but we are going to focus on the money part. See, I have this theory that in the universe, like always attracts like. So happy people like to be around other happy people. Depressed people tend to attract other depressed people. Wealthy people tend to attract other wealthy people. And broke people tend to hang out with other people who are, that's correct, broke. So if like attracts like, how is it that two people can get together in a relationship but never have a discussion about money and expect to be in total harmony? That's part of what we're going to explore in today's episode. And as you know by now, because you've been listening to me, not only am I the wealthy investor, I was a psychology major in college, and my love for human psychology has never left me. So today we're going to talk about money, couples, and wealth right here on the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast.
Want to increase your stock market trading profits? Then you need to start your monthly membership to witradeschool.com right now. Don't understand how to write covered calls for monthly income? No problem. Simply review Tyrone's latest stock trades in our video library as many times as you need. witradeschool.com is all about helping you get the financial education you need to earn money in the stock market and change your financial life. Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, has helped his students earn thousands of dollars per month trading stocks online from home. These are people just like you. So what are you waiting for? Follow Tyrone Jackson's red-hot stock trades and investment strategies today. Don't wait. Start your monthly membership at witradeschool.com right now.
And welcome back. As promised before the commercial break, today we're going to talk about couples, money, and wealth. And I'm joined in the studio with Janelle Cox. Hello there.
Hi, Tyrone.
You came back again.
I did. It was so fun the first time. Why not?
Well, thank you. You know what I did for this appearance? I was so excited when I found out you were coming in.
What?
I changed my socks. Now, this is real. This tells you that I'm really into it.
Wow, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, it may fall into the category of too much information, but I just want to show you that, I'm excited when you're here.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. So today we're going to talk about couples and money. Mm-hmm. And the last time you were here, we talked about this idea of raising your consciousness, bringing the unconscious conscious so you can make different choices in your life.
That's right.
For some people, that means actually getting a life coach or a therapist to help them along the way. And some people's consciousness will be moved just from actually listening to these shows. So, we win all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So money is something that we all need in our lives, right?
Right.
But it is amazing to me, and not that I am a therapist of your caliber, but it is amazing to me that people will go through the dating process, the courtship process, get engaged, and never have a discussion about money, wealth, their ideas, and what they'd like to create in the future.
Yeah.
And to you, you say what?
It's mind-boggling, right? But it's not working for a lot of people. it needs to happen. We need to be talking about this. And boy, if people only knew once you get into the relationship how money impacts it, I wish people could go back and learn that in those fundamental moments. But the first thing that comes to mind is, when I sit down with a couple that I'm working with and we're talking about their issues, I wonder, okay, what were your parents' beliefs about money? What were your parents' beliefs about money? What happened in your household? What happened in your household? How did you see money happen? What was known about it? What wasn't? Oh, mom would go shopping and stash it and not tell dad, and there was secrets around money. There was lies about money. There was hoarding around money. There was so when you start to get into it, it's like it's no wonder that this was put over there, shoved under the rug when they were growing up, and then you add to it all of the societal kind of belief systems that have transpired over the years about women's and men's roles in the workplace and having kids and sort of juggling all this, and you've got a mess.
Well, you're right, because I see that in my work, and as I've been saying since we've been doing the series, I am not a therapist, but I can tell, particularly in my live program, because I meet so many people, when a couple is experiencing a lot of tension around money. They may have agreed that they should be following some wealth building program, which is why they come to my program, but they're bringing their past with them as well. So a lot of the reasons why people put money in a relationship on the back burner is because it's uncomfortable to discuss with your partner or future partner?
Yeah. When you were talking, it's like I'm thinking to myself, money is power, right? Money gives us power. Mm-hmm. And in education is really important. But what our beliefs are around the money and how it shifted power dynamics growing up in the household. Those are the places where we're not really working with and knowing about and dealing with our feelings around, that if we don't deal with them, they're going to transpire in our lives and then in our relationships moving forward.
Well, I always say, because people say, well, how do you go on a date with someone and ask about money? Well, very simple. You say, and it all depends on your age, but you can say,
you open your mouth.
Yes, and you say, what do you see for yourself long term? Like, do you want to own a home? Do you want to own multiple homes?
Right.
How long do you want to continue to work at your job? Like, that actually is a money conversation. Instead of saying, hey, what's in your bank account, right? You start
That's
a conversation around a topic.
Right. That's right. One of the things that I had to learn, I've only been married for five years. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
So, thank you very much. Together for 7. So it's still a newish relationship. So I had to learn fairly recently about a lot of the ins and outs of dating and a lot of like the nuts and bolts that my mom never taught me. Boy, I wish she did. And I said to her later, I said, Mom, you never taught me about the logistics of dating, mm-hmm. Navigating this terrain. And she's like, I'm sorry, she got married when she was like 21 or something. So what I had to learn the very, very difficult way is that don't invest your time in someone unless you have those serious conversations. When I was online dating, I started off with messaging. It moved to a phone conversation. I could ask some difficult conversations even in the phone conversation before having a drink with him, right? I learned how to sort quickly. I learned how to not take it so personally and how to get in, get out, ask some questions, finesse the questions so it didn't seem like an interview process, mm-hmm. and really make it fun, flirty, but really get information and also share with the person who I was and what I was up to creating in my life quickly so that I could sort through all the nonsense and then use my time wisely with the people that were serious about and we're in line with what I was up for creating.
Yes, and that is part of having dialogue. Money is not something that will just take care of itself.
Right.
Right. Now, I am of the feeling, and particularly if you're as a woman, and I would love to share some experiences around money in marriage, but I have legal restrictions on what I can say. But boy, I'd love to get in there.
Yeah.
So, I can't say certain things, but I will say this, that I learned through my marriage how significant it is to have a partner who believes in wealth. It's really, 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 really important, right? Especially for me, right?
Yes.
So I've learned, just like you, how to go on a date. I'm single, right? And make sure that person and I are financially compatible.
Right.
And you don't have to do it by saying, how much money do you have? You start a dialogue around money. And in the same way, because I believe that when people go, oh, we are so connected, and it's like we finish each other's sentences, those are great, but are you connected financially and in your expectations for what you want to create in the future?
That's right.
That's really, really important.
That's a good place to start. Like, what do you want to create? I as a therapist would always probably ask, like, what was money like growing up for you? And how has that changed now? Are you happy with your finances? Do you have certain things that you'd like to accomplish in the next 5 years? What are your thoughts on a shared bank account versus having solo bank accounts? Every couple is going to do money their own way.
Yes.
And that's okay.
And that's the right way for that couple.
That's the right way. So there's no right or wrong. It's just what works for you. So going back a step, there's the dating and courting process and like finding your partner, and you're right, making sure that you guys have a sense of stability and financial groundedness. Once you get in there, you can start having more in-depth conversations about debt,
retirement plans,
retirement savings, stocks, goals, bigger goals. How soon do you want to buy a house if you don't have a house? What about family planning? What's the timeline? You better get that clear actually on the first date. I ain't kidding. Like,
believe me,
you better get that straight.
Yes.
Straighten that stuff up. Like,
yes.
Don't mess around.
That's why we're here today, having lived it.
That's another show. But and then once you get into then you're going to be in the honeymoon phase, right? Every couple goes through a honeymoon phase. Everything's good. Like, I'm going to project like the best parts of me on you. You're actually falling in love with yourself. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
You're like, oh yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah, you're falling in love with yourself because like you're just projecting like this like glorified part of you, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so amazing because this person loves me, and I'm like, so once you get through all that,
yes,
you hit reality.
Yes.
The smoke clears. You get married, hopefully, or not if you don't believe in that. And then life happens.
Real life happens.
Real life happens,
Yes.
and this is not a script. This is me talking from personal experience. You better know that in all relationships, change happens. So my biggest message for couples or deep partnership is be prepared to navigate the terrain of change. And that means mold yourself into different parts. Know about moving and being flexible with moving into different roles of yourself.
Yes, because real life happens in things that we can't see challenge a couple. And sometimes those challenges are emotional, they're family members, but sometimes they're financial.
That's right.
Okay, so I just want to say that's why I believe couples need to have a financial plan. And it's not about being right. It's just about carving a path in a direction to where the two of you want to go, and you want to make sure that you're with somebody who you are financially in sync with.
Now, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Don't you think in every relationship, one person sort of trumps the other in terms of financial knowingness, and they may be more educated or they may be a little more savvy at running the finances?
Well, that's a very hey, I'm the talk show host. I'm supposed to be asking a question, but I will answer that because as much as I'm a teacher, I'm also an observer of life, right? And I have seen some of my male friends get married to women who came into enormous sums of money.
Okay.
And the dynamic shifts. Yeah, I see that, right? And then I have friends male friends who've married very wealthy women, and then they're comfortable with the woman taking the lead, but that's rare. And then I've had friends who've married very wealthy men, and some of the women are like, I am totally comfortable with him taking the lead financially, and I'll take the lead in other areas of our relationship. And what I have learned from that is it really comes down to the chemistry between the two people. The only right answer about money and love and relationships is the one that best serves the couple that they mutually agree on.
Right.
However, if I'm going to be very honest, it is tougher for the men when women are in control of the finances to the tune of $1 million or more. Because if that man isn't clear enough to not let the financial dynamics of the relationship control the entire relationship, if he's not clear, he's going to feel castrated. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Because now he has a woman who has more money than he does, and she becomes kind of like the shot caller in the relationship. And then he's wondering, like, where do I fit in?
Right.
And that's not right for every guy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I think generally speaking, women are more comfortable with men being in control financially because of traditional roles.
So it's less common for a woman to be in the lead financially, both earning-wise and controlling-wise.
Yes, but I'm seeing more of my friends, male friends, marry very successful women.
And be okay with it.
They're struggling with it.
Oh, they struggle
Yeah,
with it.
almost all the guys I know are struggling with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, because women's roles are changing in the society, right? And so these guys that I'm thinking of right now, they married very ambitious women. I mean, women who are taking over the world.
Wow.
And they're kind and they're attractive and they're well educated. They're just highly motivated. So
You're friends with Bill Clinton?
no, not with Bill Clinton. No. That I can talk about legally. I am not friends with Bill Clinton.
Just kidding.
So as our roles are changing, I'm watching these guys struggle. And I'm realizing I could never be them.
Okay.
Because I could not give up that kind of power.
Right.
Right? Like I'm better with someone who is like me, who's financially established, who's motivated, so on and so forth. So it would be kind of like a coming together of equals.
Well, it's like it's all well and good in the beginning when your intentions are aligned and you may be like, okay, we're good. You're earning, we're good, everything's, and then something changes.
Yes.
And then you have to do internal work, because if you're not up for the roller coaster and shifting and moving and okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna, I know a couple that she thought he was going to be financially stable, and they got married, and turns out he, lost his job.
Okay.
So, she had to do some soul searching about it, but feelings came up.
For sure.
Because she wanted him
Correct.
to take the lead.
Correct.
And so and what arose was that she wanted him to be the rescuer, the savior.
Correct.
And that wasn't the reality. And he didn't want to be that either.
Right.
So she had to rise to the occasion.
Correct.
She had to find that place in her where she looked inside. And that took a lot of growth.
Correct.
Right?
In the case of the two guys that I'm thinking of now, they didn't have anything. So they thought it would be great to be with a woman who wanted to take the lead financially. It wasn't like they came to the table with businesses, so on and so forth. So they weren't prepared for what would happen when they would be with a woman who's smart, intelligent, aggressive, clear-minded about her business goals.
See, I see it in a different way. I think that they knew exactly who they were marrying.
Okay.
I think that they probably knew, if somebody's ambitious. So are these men earners at all? Or are they just under earners? Or are they?
Well, it's a case by case different. But they weren't. I'll just put it this way: they were not prepared for the shift in dynamic that came with being with a woman who was.
Well, at that point,
successful.
you either shift with the relationship or you part ways.
Correct.
You know, you have to look at those are moments that are initiation moments. Those call you to know about a deeper part of yourself. And I do think that we choose people who invite us to grow and know about parts of ourselves that we didn't know about before.
Let's talk about this idea. Let's stay with this idea of having a financial conversation, not only during the courtship and during the marriage, but especially early on in the marriage, because there's something called expectations, right?
Right.
Now, you've had experiences with women who've married and then realized they really didn't want to work. They really didn't want to do anything. Their expectations about what was going to happen when they got married could be a source of friction. Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah. That's why it's so important to do this inner work, while you're single, while you're dating, get into couples therapy before the hits the fan.
Yes, yes.
And before things hit a crisis level. That's why I'm always like, come on into couples therapy so we can kind of look at these dynamics together before things hit like a really bad level. Because the more truth you know about yourself, the more honest you're going to be, and you don't want to come across as manipulative to your partner or controlling.
Correct. It's not only truth, but here's what I see: expectations. People can speak their truth, but they sometimes don't speak their expectations. It's like, yes, I love you. I believe we'll be together. You'll honor me. We had a financial discussion. But what they don't often know is like, but once we get married, here's what I expect of you.
But see, what you just said, what they don't often know, it could be hidden.
Yes.
They first of all, they don't know it within themselves, and they don't want to know. They wouldn't want to admit that. I have a client who married a man who is financially abundant, and she's struggling in a job that she has no passion around. And we worked and discovered that, turns out she doesn't want to work. And she would be happy to be a homemaker. And to boot, she doesn't want to have children. So if she's not in the mother role and she's not working, and in this day and age, women are supposed to blah, 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 right? We're supposed to like have a purpose and have a direction and do something. We can't just be homemakers anymore. So this was like a revelation to her, because now she can at least know about this in herself.
Yes.
And she can know about, okay, this is no longer a hidden motivation of like that will come off as an expectation, and I can at least know about this and start to tell the truth first here with me.
Yes.
And then I can start to engage in this dialogue, maybe with my husband. I said, don't go telling him anything.
Take a second.
I said, don't be having any conversations yet.
Right.
Let's just continue knowing about this.
Yes.
And then we can figure out the what's next.
Yes.
Right? Because she just got married.
Yes. And this is the thing. I'll tell you, I am not a therapist, but whatever training I had in my early years, it still comes through when helping people create wealth for themselves. I have found that expectations of what people thought life was going to be like financially.
Oh, my God.
Is the thing that brings them down the most. Like, I thought at this age I'd be making X amount of money. And when I go on stage and I talk to people, I'm like, okay, it's okay that you had that expectation, but here you are now. Let's now set a new set of goals and expectations for the next 2 to 5 years, and you will hit them. If you really want financial freedom, it is here for you, and we're going to use the modality of the stock market to achieve it. So even if your life is not meeting your expectations financially, you get to reset the future, both you and your partner, and let's make it happen.
Right, and this show is about bringing it into a couple the couple realm.
Yes.
So now we're interweaving that expectation with love.
Okay.
the word love, the concept of love. How do we do love and have an expectation? You can't.
Okay.
What you have to understand, well, not you, Tyrone.
No, not me. I didn't say.
But I'm saying what people are, I think what they will learn eventually through the process of partnership, deep work in partnership, is untwisting that concept of expectation from love. Love has no expectation. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough pill to swallow. Okay. If you would have told me that while I was in the middle of something with my partner, I would have been like, shut up. This is I'm not hearing that. But what really is unconditional love and holding your partner to a place where they can grow, and you're not manipulating them and expecting them and trying to control them and trying to force or coerce them and hiding things. And so you're talking about having conversations,
yes.
Bringing it together, knowing about your goals together, both being educated around the realm of money. I'm all for that. I think that actually is where we're headed, and I think that we're also where we're headed in our collective unconscious is melding the. I don't want to be gender specific here, but like blending the feminine and the masculine, and blending the internal and external forces in our lives and how they express. So we are, as a people, blending that within ourselves, and now we're blending it in our relationships.
And it's funny that you say that, because the couples who come to we just had we have an annual retreat in Hawaii, and we had several couples come. So that's a husband and a wife who are unified on what they want their financial future to look like. And maybe it's because it's two people unified, they have the greatest success. Because obviously they've had a money discussion, right? And they've decided this stock market trading and investing thing is something we're going to do together. And since they're so unified, it seems to me that it's easier for them to hit any kind of goal or target that they want to achieve for themselves.
So there's something that's been integrated. That tells me that there's something that's been integrated on a deep level within themselves, and that they have made it a part of their soulful work together as a couple to know about it and create together, which could amplify our creativity tenfold.
Yes.
When we're doing it on a partnership level.
And increase the harmony in the relationship.
Right.
Okay. So just to keep it really simple here, right? Mm-hmm. You're all for having a financial discussion with your partner.
Yes.
Either in the courtship phase, before you get married, and certainly even during your marriage if you're 10
all
years
of the
deep.
Above. Always talk about it. Yes, it needs to be just like the road is going to curve and change. So get to know who you're marrying before you even meet him or her.
Right.
And absolutely in the courting process, and then stuff's going to change. Once you get married, then stuff's going to change down the road. Always have conversations.
So you're going to be having dialogue about money. And by the way, dialogue doesn't mean it's your fault that there's no money coming in.
Yeah, obviously.
Right. We're talking about focusing on what you would like to have and how you could achieve it together.
Yeah, and for me as a therapist, it goes one step further, not even dialoguing about what you want to create. I mean, this is a process of owning and looking and diving in and owning and okay, how am I showing up here? How am I producing? How am I expecting my partner to do this? What am I holding on to? What am I fixed? How am I not changing with these curves? How am I being inflexible? How am I expecting my partner to rescue me here?
Correct, because you don't want your expectations of your partner to ruin the opportunity that you guys can plan and move forward into the future.
Right.
In other words, you don't want to be with someone and go, well, I always assumed that was your job. I hate you for not playing the role that I wanted you to play.
Right.
That is not a constructive dialogue. A constructive dialogue is like, well, I know what I expected, but how can we work together so that we can achieve, $10,000 a month in residual income? So if something happens to us, we have another income source.
And I know it could be hard sometimes. There may be one partner that's more vocal. There may be one partner that goes more internal, that doesn't like to share, that doesn't like to express. They may hold on to certain things. They don't want to ruffle the feathers. They don't want to bring things up. Stop it. Don't do that. The more you bury things and resent or push things under the rug and try to resolve it by hoping it's going to go away, it just makes it worse. So you have to be proactive and talk to your partner about things.
Psychotherapist Janelle Cox, thank you so much for being here today.
So nice to be here.
Yeah, sharing your experience. I'm telling you, it is so valuable that people understand that dating, courtship, and marriage requires a positive financial discussion.
Yes.
I thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back.
You're listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Want to learn more about how to trade and invest in the stock market? Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products. That's thewealthyinvestor.net/products and order the Wealthy Investor's Guide to Stock Market Success audio series. This easy-to-follow 5-CD audio series and manual will teach you the basics of how to buy and sell stocks, how to collect quarterly dividends for life, plus hidden income generating strategies like covered call writing and volatility trading. Start creating financial freedom right now. Get the financial education you need to get ahead. Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products.
And back with just a few more minutes of Trading Stocks Made Easy. Hey, listen, what are the big takeaways from today's show? Now, I am a wealth coach before anything, but I know enough to tell you that if you want to marry someone who's doing well financially, then you need to have a financial education, because all you're going to attract in your life is someone who is a reflection of you. So without a financial education, your chances of attracting someone who's financially well off greatly diminish, and we don't want that to happen. Expectations, no matter where you are in the relationship process with someone, talk to them about money, not whose fault it is or how did we get here, but where would you like to go? The universe will always meet you in a positive way when you set goals and you set a target. It gives your mind, your brain, something to focus on. And then thirdly, no matter where you are in your marriage, even if things are going well, set bigger goals. You're fortunate enough in your life to have someone who's receptive to having wealth and financial freedom be a permanent part of your life, to be a permanent part of your relationship. That means the two of you, as long as you keep a financial dialogue, can achieve the impossible. There are no limits to how much money you can earn when you have a financial education. There are no limits to the amount of wealth and financial freedom we can create for ourselves if we use the stock market as our modality. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I can't wait to spend a little bit more time with you on the next episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy. Until then, this is Tyrone Jackson saying stay open and stay positive, because the best is yet to come.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button and you'll automatically receive our next episode.